Hi, what's up? It's me again, and it's been quite a long time. I haven't published any videos for the last 3 weeks, but I've been hard at work at all sorts of different areas of my life, so there hasn't been much happening in terms of iOS development. I've been more focused on work and my studies, so that's why I wasn't here. So, last time we talked about that I won Swift Student Challenge, and this time I'd like to talk about Coffee Note because today I released Coffee Note. Well, you're seeing this on Sunday, but today is Thursday, and this morning I released Coffee Note 2.0, which is a huge update which brings so many new changes and so many new features. I can't even, yeah, so I guess I could just walk you through what's new and all of that jazz. So let's just get started. All right, so I'm in the App Store right now, and we'll start by updating Coffee Note. The screenshots for iPad are honestly I haven't changed them yet, but there's gonna be a small update that's gonna fix. Already there are a couple of issues and bug fixes I need to sort out. So there's gonna be an update by probably Sunday or mid next week. Okay, so we are here, and this is the onboarding. And onboarding just goes like that. We're gonna click get started. Okay, great, amazing. Yeah, so here we are at already in the onboarding. We can see what's actually new, and I added caffeine tracker, and essentially what it means is you can set like a daily limit of caffeine you consume. So there's this ratio you can calculate because milligrams of caffeine does not translate well into grams of coffee beans because it depends on various roast types and various process methods. So on average is I think 1 gram is one gram is 10 milligrams of caffeine, something like that, 10 to 15. So let's say for 100 milligrams, and that should total to 40 grams of coffee on average. Yeah, so next step, celebrate special moments, and we are here, and I can give 5 stars, why not? So we are here. This is like the main dashboard, and what's interesting here is this big focus on the caffeine tracker with options to change how many milligrams you'd like to consume. And we're gonna get started by adding our first coffee beans, and we can name it, for example, Kenya blend. And there's a field to add descriptions. There's a field to also specify whether is it Arabica or Robusta. In our case, it can be Arabica and roast medium. Process method can be semi-washed. There are also taste notes, and our Kenya will be, with orange. Body is medium, acidity is high because of the orange, and it's from Africa. And also there is this field to add story to the coffee, and essentially it means that each coffee has its own story, and basically I wanted to give you space to think about it and maybe describe what's behind the coffee. So we are adding those beans, and it should appear here on our shelf, and it's here. And soon after, Coffee Note prompts us to add some coffee tasting, and we can do it from here. Add new tasting, and we tasted this Kenya blend, and it was today at home. It was pretty okay. We used pour over or maybe French press. I personally used French press the most, and aroma was for 3 beans. Acidity was pretty high, body was full and it was amazing. And taste, what about taste? Yeah, I think it was great, so that's why I will give 5 stars. And we added our tasting, and it appeared in recent activity. From here, we can also go to all tastings, and you can browse tastings by coffee name, by date, by the descriptions and other stuff like that. There are also filters, so we can filter by brewing method, essentially for now. And you can also quickly add a new tasting. What's more here is that you can also add your favorite drinks. This will come in handy when we'll be playing around with map feature. But basically new drinks is that you take a picture of whatever drink you're having in a nearby coffee shop, name it, add bins, add coffee shop, give rating and also a price, and how was it prepared. Probably in most of the coffee shops it's gonna be an espresso based, but yeah. So this is our home, and at home we can check off which coffee we drank, then add on average how many milligrams. It was rather a small coffee, so 120, and log that. And as you can see, this pretty animation appeared, so that's cool. And yeah, moving forward. And essentially, Maps wants us to use our own location. For purposes of this video, I'm gonna assume we are in London, but basically you can just look around your city or whatever and just browse nearby coffee shops and places you'd like to visit. So for example, I'm interested in this Pret a Manger, and you can see all the necessary information. You can see their telephone number, you can check their website. So there are a couple of things you can do here. So that's pretty neat, I think. And also there is an option to open it in Maps. And when you open it in Maps, basically, it goes straight to that location, and you can get directions from there to that place. What's more interesting, I think, is your usuals section. And in here, you can add those drinks you added previously. So, for example, let's say you were at that Pret a Manger and wanted to add, for example, the latte you had, or maybe an Americano, or maybe a cold brew you had there, and you can simply just take a picture of that, add it here at price, being added to your favorites, and it's gonna be saved in your favorites, which is, I think, quite nice. Besides, you can also add new tastings you had in that coffee shop, in the specific coffee shops, and what more, you can add it to favorites, the whole coffee shop, and it will appear in here, favorite coffee shops. You can click it and then also share it, and it will appear as Pret a Manger link to coffee note. And that's the map feature. Now let's move on to Dictionary. Dictionary is a place where new people new to coffee world can learn about the art of coffee tasting, can learn how to brew coffee, can learn about different types of brewing methods. So this is an ideal place for new joiners to get a grasp of the fundamentals of the whole coffee world and catch up and enjoy those new experiences, right? And there are a couple of tutorials, for example, how to do coffee tasting, on what to pay attention on. Also, you can learn about coffee regions and what are the characteristics of each region. Later, you can read about roasting level and how does light roasting level, for example, influence coffee you drink and stuff like that. And lastly, there are settings. And in settings, you can change language, turn on haptics, send feedback, and if you send feedback, it's gonna be automatically filled with your device statistics. And there are a couple of links to my apps as well. And yeah, and that's Coffee Note. It's an amazing app. I did almost a year ago, and now on our first anniversary, I released this huge update 2.0, which in my opinion elevates the app to the next level, honestly. All right, hope you liked this episode. It was like a nice deep down into my app and what changed in this version and how the whole app presents right now. There are a couple of things coming to the app, so it's not like the final version. It's like more of an MVP for version 2.0, but it's pretty exciting, and I can't wait to build another one. And my next app is gonna be focused on trips, travels, and generally summer vibes. It's gonna be released on July the 1st, and honestly, I can't wait for you guys to see it. And for now, it's all I have for you guys this week, and hopefully, I'll see you guys next week. See ya.